Hi, my creative peeps. It's Craftin' Just Because with Cowan. And today I'm bringing you the Well Done Fun Fold card. And it opens like this. And it's just one layer. There's no, the A2 size doesn't open up. This is just how it opens. So we are going to go ahead and get started here. What you're going to need is you're going to need the following colors: Calypso Coral, Pretty Peacock, and Blackberry Bliss ink. We also have the Well Done bundle. I have a Stampin' Block. I have my paper snips and bone folder. I have some Pool Party sheer ribbon. And then we're going to bring our paper trimmer in here and also our cardstock pieces. So what you're going to first need to do, let me get all my pieces. Okay. So we have a card base that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then we have another piece that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then we have some scraps to stamp on, so I'm going to put that aside. Then we also have a Pretty Peacock piece that is cut at 4 by 7 7/8. A Calypso Coral piece that's cut by 2 3/4 by 9 3/4. And then I have some scrap Pool Party, and I'm going to put that aside because I'll need that for the punch. And then I have some of the Whale of a Time Designer Series paper. One piece is cut at 3 7/8 by 2 1/2. And one piece is cut at 2 3/8 by 4. Now, one thing to keep in mind is all of my directions will be listed in my blog post that will be linked below. So you don't have to slow this video down and try to write them out, which makes it really nice. Okay, so first of all, we're going to start with that Pretty Peacock piece. And we're going to score it on the 7 7/8 side at 2 5/8. So 2 5/8. Then I'm going to set that aside. And then I also want to score my Calypso Coral piece on the 9 3/4 inch side at 4 1/4. Okay. So now we're done with our paper trimmer. That made it easy, right? Now, before we go to burnishing those score marks and things like that, I want to get all of my pieces ready to go. So what I'm going to do with this Pool Party piece is I'm going to cut out a couple of these splashes. So just like that. Those are the pieces I want. Okay. And then I'm going to take my scrap Whisper White and I'm going to punch, let's see here, my whale out. So we first are going to stamp him using Blackberry Bliss. Just like that. And then, we're going to use our Pretty Peacock. And we're going to stamp You're Kind of a Big Deal. And then it looks like I need to die cut out You're a Pretty Good Deal. So I'm going to be using my Tasteful Labels dies to do that. And I'm just going to come to the side where my embossing machine or my die cutting machine is and do that really quick off camera. I apologize. Normally I'd have this done. So let me show you guys what those dies look like so you guys can see them. And then we'll continue our stamping. So here's what they look like, and I'm using this one that has a scallop edge and some stitching. So I'm just gonna center that on into the center, and I'm gonna die cut that one out really quick. There we go. And then really quick, we're gonna punch out our whale of a time. And then we have just a tiny bit more stamping to do. So I'm gonna center him in there. Just like that. Die cut him out, or punch him out. And I'm gonna set him aside. And then we need to stamp our smaller Whisper White piece, which is the layer that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And what I'm going to do is I'm first going to stamp using Calypso Coral ink, and I'm going to stamp hoping all your birthday wishes come true. So I'm going to put that right in the center. Right down in the center, just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to take that pretty peacock ink again, and I'm going to take my little fish swimming, and I'm going to put it on either side of my sentiment there. So let me get my fish going the right way. Just like that. And then we're all done with our stamping. And we just need to assemble our card. I like that. This card is just so fun. Okay, so let's take our 2 pieces that we need to burnish with our bone folder. So we're gonna burnish that down and then burnish this down. Okay. And we're going to layer our stamped image onto our pretty peacock piece with our liquid adhesive glue here, or whatever adhesive you like. I tend to like this one while I'm on camera, just because sometimes, oh, whoops, it needs to go this way. Sometimes I make a mistake like that, and I need to be able to flip it over really quick. And it allowed me the flexibility to lift that little sucker on up. Okay, so now we're going to put our designer series paper right down. Oh, it looks like I need to trim this a little bit. Let's see here. Let's do that. 3 3/4 is what it is. Okay. So layer that right on down into the center. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bigger piece of Whisper White, which is the A2 size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm going to glue down the longer section of the Calypso Coral piece right in the center of the card. So I'm going to glue this down just like that. Okay, now I'm going to add this centered in the middle. So there's a lot of layers to this card, but like I said, I think it makes it fun and makes a pop. I can't talk today. Silly me. Okay, so now it would go like this, but first we need to put on our designer series paper. So we're going to go ahead and layer that down. Just like that. And then we are going to take our Stampin' Dimensionals, whoops, and put on our sentiment. I'm using minis just because that's what I have in this kit. I must have been out when I cut this kit and I threw these in. Okay, I'm going to add that to the center up at the top. Then I'm going to add my whale. And I just wanted to let everybody know, if you spend at least $25 with me, I participate in a monthly tutorial, and we feature a suite of product every month. And this is the one for this month. And so I will send you that free tutorial so that you can make some of these fun cards. And this is the card that I made for that tutorial. Okay, so I'm adding him down at the bottom, and then I'm going to add my splash. Just, whoops. Just like that. And then I'm going to glue down that other piece of splash. Just like that. And we're not done yet. I'm going to come in with my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to color in the splash and the whale. And I know it'll bleed a little bit because we didn't use Memento ink, but I like how that looks to me. And then we need to add ribbon, and we will be done with our fun card here. So let's take our pool party ribbon and tie a knot. Okay. Then you'll just trim it down, and then there's your card, you guys. So I appreciate, oh, I am so sorry. My camera moved. I appreciate you guys stopping by today. I hope you had fun creating this card. Until next time, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.